Good morning. Oh, there's some moose over there. Look. Probably can't see, but right past the stop sign, there was a moose and a baby moose. But anyways, we're here at the Sand Beach Lake Trailhead, located in the Wild Basin section of Rocky Mountain National Park. And today, we're going to go for Lyric Falls, which is located on the Hunters Creek. So we're gonna take it up the Sand Beach Lake Trail for a couple miles. Then we're gonna split off, hike alongside Hunters Creek, and then hopefully we'll find Lyric Falls. Official start time, 5:55. Sand Beach Lake is 4.5 miles. Luckily, we don't have to go all the way up there. We're only going to be on the trail for maybe 3.25 miles. And this thing is a grind straight out of the gate. You don't get any warm up or anything. It just starts going up. There was a sign down at the trailhead talking about there being bears up here. So we're going to have to be bear aware, which is kind of like being snake awake. Yep, we don't want to get eaten by a bear up here today. And that's looking over to Meadow Mountain. This is one of the few views that you get because most of this trail is in the trees. And we're getting close to the first trail split up there. Yeah, we're not really burning the trail up, but we're getting there. I'm glad we started before 6 a.m. because I'm thinking that this might take a little longer than I had planned. All right, and this took us 50 minutes to get up here. Looks like we've hiked 1.4 miles. And I'm thinking that we've knocked out roughly 500 feet of elevation gain. Oh man. So we still got a little ways to go. So according to my calculations, we've got just under 2 more miles on this Sand Beach Lake Trail. And at the pace that we're going right now, that's gonna take us a minute. I think it was right through here where we saw that moose come through a long time ago when my mom and I hiked up to Sand Beach Lake. Yeah, it was right through here. We were hiding behind trees. Insert old moose footage now. That's your trail, buddy. That's totally your trail. Yeah, he owns that. I wish the whole trail was like this. Just nice and easy, well groomed. However, it's not. This is like the one nice part, but the majority of this thing is steep and rocky. We already passed the hole in the wall campsite. And this is the Campers Creek campsite. And yet another warning that there are bear in the area. Cool. Hopefully we see one. I'm not too worried about the bears. I'm more worried about moose, and I'm most worried about mountain lions. Yeah, you'll never even hear the mountain lion. He'll just be dead. I just checked the GPS and got some encouraging news. We just crossed over 9,500 vertical feet, which means that we have come up roughly 1,100 or so. Yeah, we've only got to take this trail up to 9,800, and then that's where we're going to split off at Hunter's Creek, and then the falls are just below 10,200. So we're looking good. I think we've knocked out a majority of the elevation gain. And I think this is part of Camper's Creek. And we should be crossing over that here in a second. All right, we're crossing over Camper's Creek right here. I didn't bring a ton of water on this hike because I feel like there are lots of places that I could fill up my bottle and use my life straw. So I'm only toting about 40 ounces. The book says that they're named Lyric Falls because the water speaks to you in lyrics. So I've been writing my own lyrics as we've been hiking along the trail here. Here's what I got so far. When nature calls, we're gonna hike it up to Lyric Falls. To get up to them requires big feet. The brush is thick. My name is Nick. You know, I'm a man, so I grab my hiking poles. Lyric Falls. Hike up to Lyric Falls. That's all I got so far. I'm still working on it though. And we're passing by the Beaver Mill campsite, and yet another warning that there are bears up here. And I think we're getting close to Hunter's Creek because I can hear some water out in the distance, which is great. That means that we're almost done with this Sand Beach Lake Trail. And in just over 2 hours, we have made it out to Hunter's Creek. And this is where we're gonna branch off the Sand Beach Lake Trail and more or less start bushwhacking it up to Lyric Falls. And this is at right around 9,800. Lyric Falls is just under 10.2. So we've got roughly 400 more vertical feet up to the falls in probably about 3/4 of a mile. Yeah, right through here is going to be the trail. And we're going to take a quick 5-minute break here at Hunter's Creek. And I fear that the rest of this hike up to Lyric Falls might get nasty. I've hiked down this way once before when I did Mount Meeker, and it was gross through there. I was high stepping down trees like the entire time. But fingers crossed that the trail has been cleared out since then. I doubt it, but maybe. All right, let's do it. Let's take it up Hunter's Creek for 3/4 of a mile and up to Lyric Falls. So far so good with this social trail. We've hit a couple little nasty spots where we had to high step over some logs, but for the most part, it's been pretty doable. Well, the trail was looking good, and then we just hit this spot. However, I think if we just make it over that single log, we might be good. Yeah, according to the GPS, we're about halfway out to Lyric Falls from that Hunter's Creek split. All right, we just got to stay on the trail through here. It's getting a little nasty. And just like that, we're off the trail. When in doubt though, I think we're gonna veer away from the water because it seems like the closer you are to the water, the more down trees. And I think we might be back on it now. As long as we're going upstream, we're doing good. It's really pretty back here, and this feels like the type of area that hardly anybody hikes to. Yeah, this is awesome. And the book says that there are a bunch of cascades along the way that can easily be mistaken for Lyric Falls. Probably stuff like this. According to the GPS, we're a little over 0.2 of a mile away from Lyric Falls, and we just crossed over 10,000 vertical feet. So it looks like we're going to get a big chunk of the gain here right at the end. Yeah, it looks like the trail pitches up here at the very end. We got to take it up to just under 10,200. But this is amazing. When I think of hiking in Rocky Mountain National Park, this is what I think of. This kind of stuff. This is incredible. No joke, this is like heaven on earth right now. I can see why people travel from all over the world to visit this place. It's amazing. Every time I see moose poop, it reminds me of Ace Ventura. They're little footballs. And we just hit the snow. We got a few random piles of rotten snow back here, but it's nothing that we can't handle. We're gonna push on. We're almost up to Lyric Falls. Yeah, it just got real nasty through there. However, I think we've picked our way through it. It's just when down trees are laying on top of down trees that are on top of down trees, it makes it so you can't get around them. But this is looking good. I think we can step over these no problem. And we're really close to the falls now, according to my GPS. According to my GPS, it's showing the falls right down here in front of me. I don't know. I don't know if we should go down there or keep heading up the trail. My gut is telling me that those were not Lyric Falls down there, and that my GPS is slightly off. So we're gonna keep heading up the trail and hope we see something that's better. I mean, there should be like big rock slabs and stuff where the water's coming down. My GPS is showing that we have gone slightly past the falls. So this might be the beginning of them up here. Now that we've made it down to the water, we're gonna hike alongside of it and see if we can go downstream a little more. Yeah, there was just no way to get over to where it showed that the falls were at. I mean, it was nasty terrain. However, we've kind of went up and looped around, and now we're down here by the water. So maybe this will lead over. Yeah, I think we're looking good right here. We've got like a lower trail. Yeah, I think Lyric Falls is just on the other side of this giant rock. And it just gets super nasty right through here. Like, I don't know how we're supposed to get over there. We're gonna follow this trail for a second though. We weren't on this earlier. Yeah, we have completely went up the trail and looped it back. But this is working. This is working. This is gonna get us down there. And this is what my GPS is showing is Lyric Falls. That's pretty awesome. It's coming down those big giant boulders. That's got to be it. That has got to be it. And this was tough to get down here. Man, nasty terrain. And it was a little difficult getting out to that spot. However, it was totally worth it. That was amazing. And right now we're going to try and work it back to the trail. We're probably going to take it back up and around. And we might even keep going up the trail a little further, up to where it kind of opens up, kind of like this meadow area. And you get some awesome views of at least Mount Meeker. I'm not sure what other peaks you're able to see, but you should be looking right up at big old Meeker. And on the way up to the meadow, we can look down and see the water. And I was thinking that those could have been the Lyric Falls right down there, but what we saw was much cooler. And we were also right where it had Lyric Falls labeled on the GPS. There's like a real steep section coming down, and that's right where we were. And this might be Lyric Falls right here. I'm not sure, it's hard to tell. So if it is, at least we came down here to see it. Yeah, that could be it right there. And yeah, we're thinking that this second set of falls is probably Lyric Falls. I don't know, it's really hard to tell. Both spots were pretty awesome. Or is this Lyric Falls? We don't really know. They're all awesome. They all kind of look the same. Yeah, I'm thoroughly confused on which one of those little areas was Lyric Falls. Maybe all of them are part of Lyric Falls. I really don't know. But I think it's safe to say that we saw them. Or is this Lyric Falls? We really have no idea. Honestly, I think all of those waterfalls were part of Lyric Falls. They should be. I don't think one really stood out as being much better than the others. They were all pretty great. But my goodness, that is confusing down there. The book said if you continue up the trail for a little bit, you'll break through and into a big open meadow where you get awesome views of Meeker. And I can see Meeker out there, and we're gonna give this about 5 more minutes. And if it doesn't open up, we probably gotta turn around and head back. And up here at just above 10,420 feet is where the trees are thinning out, and we're finally getting the view of Mount Meeker. And that looks huge. This feature right here is called the Dragon's Egg. And I've actually done Meeker from down here one time. However, I came in a little more from the left. But yep, went straight up that little grassy spot to that notch where the snow is, and then hit the right and took it up to the summit. And on video, that really doesn't look that big. However, standing here right now, it looks huge. We're at just over 10,400. The summit of Meeker is over 13,900. So you're talking another 3,500 vertical feet to get to the top of that thing. It's about 10:50 right now, and we made it up here and got the good views of Mount Meeker. However, we have quite a hike back down to the Sand Beach Lake trailhead. So it is time to go. It's time to head on back. All right, let's do it. Let's take it on back. And we're on the trail. Plus I have this thing routed on my GPS. So we should be good to go. And this is why I wanted to push on and keep going a little higher, because it gets unbelievably beautiful up here. Sorry if this video is super long, but I can't stop recording. We've been doing pretty good at staying on the trail up until this point. And this is right around where the waterfalls are at. And we had come up over by the water. So we're kind of stuck in the middle right now. And we're trying to work it back to our previous route. Should be right over here. We should pick up a small trail somewhere. I don't know many things, but I know one thing for sure, and that's that I'm gonna walk down in between this split rock. Wow, my foot just went straight down into a hole of water. Ew, I can feel my sock getting soaked out by the second. Go! Oh my goodness. Oh, I better make it through here. Oh gosh. Whew. It's a tight fit. Yeah, my mom went a much easier way, and her whole boot isn't soaked either. Oh man, I gouged my boot. Check that out. All right, and I think we've made it through the real nasty section up there, where all the down trees were at. We're back on the trail. We're seeing our previous footprints in the snow, and we're looking good. It's getting weird again. Let's stay over here. And I'm on my third GoPro battery. You know when you're on your third GoPro battery, that it's an epic hike. All right, butt slide over that log, step down, looking good. Well, my mom just stepped in the water, so she can join the wet boot club. Your whole butt went in and everything?
No, I slid, my feet were in.
Oh. It seems like it's taken as long to come down this part as it did to come up it. And the GPS is pretty much a necessity. I have to keep checking that thing and seeing if we're on the trail or not. Yeah, it is nasty through here. And check it out. That's the bridge on the Sand Beach Lake Trail, which means we made it back. It's just now 11:45, so that took us roughly 55 minutes to get through all that. Oh yeah, we should have a nice trail all the way back. I got good news and bad news. Good news is that the rest of this trail should be 99% downhill. Bad news is we've got over 3 miles of it. And shout out to Doreen. This is the third time I've run into her. I ran into her twice last year. But yeah, that was nice. We were chatting on the way down, talking about boots and stuff. So that made the time go by pretty quickly. We got the hummingbirds flying around. And we're knocking this trail out. I'd say we have maybe 1¼ mile left. Beautiful shot though. Amazing weather today. And we see the cars parked down there, which means Lyric Falls, Lyric Falls. Verse 3. Have no fear, we made it back down here. It's party time, so grab a bottle of water. And we're back. Sand Beach Lake Trailhead. It is just now 1:35, so that took us 2 hours and 45 minutes to come down from the very top, which was well past Lyric Falls. I think it took us about 3 hours or so to get up to the Lyric Falls area, and then I kind of lost track of time. And the normal stats in the book for getting up to Lyric Falls is 4 miles out with just over an 1,800 foot elevation gain. However, with all that extra that we did, I'm thinking that put us closer to a total of 9 miles with well over a 2,000 foot net elevation gain. Epic hike. That's pretty much our first super awesome one of the year. But stay tuned, guys, because there are going to be many, many more. All right, Lyric Falls and beyond. Got it. Well, we hope you enjoyed that hike, and until the next one, y'all, peace.